they need to change that because it's really not. Okay. And one of the first things that I would suggest doing instead of viewing your worlds, because you're not going to have any worlds if this is the first time you're ever getting into Minecraft, you're going to want to go over here to View Library. And this has a lot of tutorials in it to kind of get you started, kind of get your students started, as well as some templates of worlds that you can kind of start with. So you're not just starting with a blank slate, so to speak. So I'm going to go ahead and click on View Library. Lessons, they've got lessons in here as well that kind of match up again with what was on the other site. The other side has more. This has some of them in here. They have what now this is new. They put in the monthly challenge in here. And every month, the Minecraft community puts out what's called a build challenge. And they have the students, they challenge the students to build something. And so if you go in here, there'll be instructions on, I think all the past build challenges are in here. There was one on the space station. There's all kinds in here. And that would be a great place to start your students as well. For Biomes and Worlds, they have all the different biomes that are over our Earth. They added the ocean last year, which I was so excited about. They've added a tundra biome. And when you go in there, of course, you're going to see animals, and those are called mobs, by the way. But you're going to see the mobs that are usually associated with those particular types of biomes. So if I'm in the ocean, of course, I'm going to see some fish and some dolphins and octopus, etc. So this is another place to start as well. And here's the how to play. I would zero in here if you've never done this before, which I hadn't done it before. I got an email because I'm a part of another Microsoft community, and they asked me if I would like to try to apply to be a mentor. And I was like, sure, I'd love to learn about Minecraft. So I applied, and then I got it, and I thought, yeah, everybody gets it. Apparently not. Apparently they just pick and choose. I don't know why they chose me. I know nothing. I didn't know anything about Minecraft at the time. So then I had to learn how to play or how to get in there and work with it really fast. So this is where I went. So I'm going to go ahead and click in here just to show you what's in here. Okay, to start here, this is actually going to walk you through how to move. There's this stuff called redstone that we're going to talk about in a little bit. It's going to kind of give you some of the basics, how to use your inventory, what some of the words mean that you hear in Minecraft, that kind of stuff. So definitely I would start here, but I want to show you what else is in here for your students as well. And then I will actually get into a real world here in just a minute. So these two tutorials are so awesome. This is the chemistry tutorial. We're going to be talking about the chemistry component here in just a little bit. There is this most awesome chemistry thing going on. It's just really amazing. And then this one, they're making the code builder more amazing every day. If you don't know how to code, you don't need to know how to code to start coding in Minecraft. It's like it looks just like code.org with the little blocks, like we call them almost like Lego blocks that fit together, and they move these pieces together, and then they move a little robot within the Minecraft world, and it can build, it can dig, it can do all kinds of things that you can do in there as well. But now you're having this little robot do it for you, and it's pretty fun to do. And then they get really excited about maybe I want to make the building this tall, maybe I want to do this, and so they have to really think about it. It's a lot of critical thinking, a lot of problem solving. Same with the chemistry tutorial, and this will kind of show you some of the different tables and things that you can use in Minecraft. And I know I'm talking about tables and different things in crafting, and we're going to talk just a little bit about that as we get into the world here. So I'm going to go ahead and go back. Okay, and I'm going to go back one more time, and even one more time. Right down here where it says Educator Resources, this is actually going to take you to that website that I told you about, that education.minecraft.net. Just wanted you to know about that as well. Okay, all right, I'm going to jump out of this library here, hopefully. I heard it click. Let's try it one more time. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and view my world. Now, there's some different ways that I can create a world. Okay. I can create a new world, and it's just going to make a brand new world with nothing in it. I can join somebody else's world, and this is really important for your students. So your students cannot join another student world. Let me say that again. If I'm a student and I create a world and I invite somebody, hey, come join my world, it's not going to happen. They don't allow that. But a student can join a teacher world. So I'm a teacher. I create a world, and then I invite my students to come and join me, and then we can all be in the world together. We can have up to 30 people in a world at one time. Only 30. That's a lot. when I get in here, I'll kind of show that to you. So the join world, I can join a teacher world. Teachers can join other teachers' worlds, which we've done many, many times. But a student cannot join another student world. My own boys, they wanted to play Minecraft with one of their friends that they hadn't seen in a while. You know, they haven't seen hardly anybody in a very long time. And so they were trying to get in, and they kept getting this error. And I was like, So then I created a world, and I said, okay, I want you to see if you can join mine. And this was back, I could think, in March, because there was a time when students could join each other's world. Well, they've kind of cut that off now, and for safety reasons, possibly also because we're all at home now. But they could not join their friend's world, but all of their friends and them could join a world that I created. Even if my son opened the world up. So let's say I create this world and then I share it with him and then he opens it. They can all join into it because I created it, since I'm the teacher. So again, the teacher has to create it in order for the students to be able to join. All right, I'm going to go ahead and go into my worlds. And I haven't been in this world for a little while. This is my blocks of grass. So I'm going to go straight in there. And you're going to see I have the option to play or host. If I play, that means I'm just in there. I'm just having a good time by myself, right? But if I host, that means other people can join my world. And so I'm going to go ahead and click on host, just so I can show you what the codes look like. And let me know if you don't see something, because sometimes the pop-up windows, they don't always work within the Meet. So please let me know if there's something you're not seeing.
So far, it's looking good.
Okay. And it is taking a little while, just because we have my computer is using every resource it can to run the Meet, to stay on the internet, and to run Minecraft. It's like, okay, you're overloading me.
Yeah. We're stressing out Meet right now. I know we are.
Oh, yeah. Yes. And again, I appreciate all of you being here and all of your interest in Minecraft, because I've become a big Minecraft nerd. I just love it. I think it's a great tool. And I wish more kids had access to it, but that might be coming. And normally it doesn't take this long to load. I'm just going to say that. But as you see, as it's loading, it's giving me a little bit of a, it's just letting me know some of the fun, fast facts on how to use Minecraft. Okay, here I am. Oh, look at that. It's raining.
It's
wonderful. It's raining in this world. So now I'm here in the Minecraft world. Now I'm going to go ahead and push the escape button, because I want you to see, and I hope that you're able to see this. Okay. This is the join code right here. It's not a numerical code or has alphabet pieces. It actually has pictures. That's really great for our little guys, right? So our little guys, because when they go to join a world, they have a whole mess of different pictures to choose from. And then they have to get them in the right order. So they have to put in the rail, then the potion, then Steve, then Alex. And when they do that, then they would be able to join my world. And then we could be in here together, and we could be building together. And we'll talk about the different types of game, what they call gameplay, but it's really not gameplay. I can't stress that enough. It's really not. You're not just playing. I mean, really. Right here, you're going to see I have a 1. It's because that's how many people are in my world with me, and that's me, just 1. And you're going to notice that I have like a little crown right here. That is because I am a teacher and I own this world. Anybody who's a teacher who would join my world would also have this crown. Students do not have that crown. They are just what they call a regular player. So they don't have the abilities to change a lot of the stuff up like I do. I have the control as the teacher. So in this remote environment that we are in, since we are all like kind of on different networks, I won't have the ability to go in and see what if they like, because they're in another part of the world. I mean, I can teleport to them and find them that way, but I'm not going to. There's this one part called classroom mode, where I can actually go in and see what my students are doing, where they are in the world, what they're working on, and that type of thing, even if they're not in my world. I don't have that ability since we're in remote. But the fact that I can invite them into my world, and then I kind of have control of them once they're in my world here. Okay, so I'm going to go back here, and I'm just going to show you the settings really quickly, because I'm sure we have a lot of Mac users out there. I do recognize some of these names as elementary teachers. And I apologize if we're not a lot of elementary teachers out there, but I do want to show this for the people who are Mac users, because this is kind of an important thing. Otherwise, you're going to send me like hate email about this. So I want to make sure I cover this. All right, under settings. Give it a second. It's thinking. It's just going really slow. And again, this doesn't normally go this slow. Okay. Under settings, you're going to want to change some of your keyboard, because you use the keyboard to move around. Okay. And so I'm going to go to the keyboard and mouse right here, because one of the ones that we need to look at is this one right here. And if you don't have it downloaded, just write this down. The use item place block. Normally right here, what it is a right click, which is button 2. You don't want it to be button 2, because this game does not recognize a right click on a Mac, and all it will do is destroy your stuff. And when I was first learning, I just kept destroying everything, and I was getting really frustrated because I couldn't figure out what I was doing wrong. And my boys who had played for a while, they're like, Mom, let me show you. You're on a Mac. Let me show you what you need to do. And they showed me that we needed to change this. And all you do is you just click in here. And right now I have P in there, and that's P for place. That's what I use. But normally this says button 2. And so what you do is you just type the letter that you want it to be. I typed P, so that way it stays as P for place. And that way it's not the right click, because the right click will not work. Everything else will work just fine. Everything else is fine. There's no save button or anything else. All we do is just go right out of settings. And now I'm going to resume. Okay. All right. So now I'm in this world that I've kind of created, and I've been in here several times, and I'm moving forward by pushing W, and I move backwards by pushing S, and you're going to notice that it's just like a little box on your keyboard. A moves me to the left, and D moves me to the right. Now there are different types of what they call play modes. One is called creative mode, and creative mode I use with my students when I've gone into classrooms and help them to kind of get started with Minecraft. I like creative mode better than survival mode, because survival mode, you can die. And these little green things that you see right there, that's actually something that can harm me. Okay? So I don't want to be harmed by anything when I'm trying to build, or if I'm trying to learn how to play. So I suggest starting in the creative mode, and I can show you in the settings where that's located in just a moment. But what I like also about the creative mode is when I push the space bar twice, I can fly. I can't do that in survival mode. And when I push the inventory button, I have access to everything. Now, this is really important too, because when you're in survival mode, you don't have access to anything. You have nothing, and you have to find it. And that's really great if I'm an experienced player and I know what I'm doing and I know where to go look for stuff, or even how to make stuff. But if I'm a brand new player and I'm just trying to find my way through Minecraft, I want to make sure I'm in creative mode. So that way, first of all, nothing hurts me. And second of all, I have access to things so I can start to build. Okay. So this is that's just a tip from me and I've been using Minecraft for about 2 years now, and I still go to creative mode over survival mode. One of our colleagues, Eric, when we'll show you probably heard us mention his name a gazillion times. He's a big Minecrafter too, and we were in a world together, and he changed the mode from creative to survival, and I was like, oh, I don't, and he's like, it's okay, and he started like shooting arrows at me, and of course I started to die, and I mean, it was fun, but if I'm a brand new player, that might be a little scary for me. And I, you know, as a former first grade teacher, I have done this with first graders, by the way. I have done Minecraft with them, and they love it. We use some of the lessons that were in the where the lesson bank is. But I would definitely start my students in creative to get them started. And you might have some students that have been playing Minecraft for a long time, and they're going to say, hey, how come I can't do this? How come I can't do that? And you're going to say, because this is Minecraft Education Edition, and this is the one that we have access to. But there's some really cool things in here that Education Edition has, and that chemistry component is one of them. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm actually going to scroll through my inventory here, and yeah, from what I'm seeing on the screen, you're able to see my inventory, and I want you to see what's a little bit farther down here. Hopefully I can get to it very quickly. Do you see all of these? Wow, this kind of looks like, oh, I don't know, like the periodic table. That's exactly what it is. So we can actually create not only elements, we can create elements by adding protons, neutrons, electrons. I'm going to show that to you. But then we can take those elements. Let's say, see, we don't let the kids know that the elements are here in the inventory because they're very far down at the bottom. We don't let them know that they're here, so they have to create them. And in order to create them, they have to know about the protons and neutrons and electrons. But then they can take those elements and put them together and make compounds, right? And then when they take those compounds, and then they can create something really cool with them. Now, how do I know about this? How do I know about this? I'm actually going to show you. Let me see if it'll let me pull this up, because I have this lab journal that is actually on the education.minecraft.net site that I have downloaded. And I'm going to see if it's going to let me change my window here so I can show it to you, because this is a really cool, it's a PDF document. Come on. It's going to take its time. I'll show it to you in a little bit. I might even like send a link to you or on that one. But inside of it, it's what I call a recipe guide. And I was working with some fourth graders at a campus. And we were actually, we had created some elements, and they had created some compounds. I go, okay, we're gonna create this balloon, and they had to figure out, because you know it gives you the scientific code or for it. You know, if it's like, you know, H2O2, of course we know that's hydrogen peroxide, so it actually gives you, you know, H2O2, and they're like, what does that mean? I'm like, okay, well, it's like a recipe. Let's figure this out. We need 2 hydrogen, we need 2 oxygen. And they were starting to understand it. And I thought, man, I wish I had had this when I was in school. I had such a hard time understanding how those elements work together to make something else. I totally got electrons, neutrons, and protons. I had that. I back and forth, and the shells and all of that. I had that. But what I had trouble with was when I would see, you know, H2O2 and how to convert that, and how to use that. And this actually kind of shows you how to do it. It's so cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually pull up the element. Let me see if it'll let me here. The element constructor. Come on. I think it's called the element constructor. I just need to look up lab tables. Like my typewriter's not working. Okay, there's a lab table, but where's my element? Let me find it. I probably should have already had it. It's like my L is not working on this thing. There we go. I'm going to pull this down. All I did was click on it. I'm going to pull it down into my little hotbar that's down here. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to push the 2, because my little boxes that are down there, I have 1 through 9 boxes at the very bottom of the screen. And each box pertains to something that I have in my inventory. Now, you notice I don't have anything in 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, but I have something in 1 and I have something in 2. So I clicked 2 and it highlighted my element constructor. And now I'm going to P for place it right there on the ground there. And I'm going to push the P again once I get closer to it, and look at what comes up. The element constructor comes up. So now I've got my protons, my electrons, and my neutrons, and I want to make an element. So if I say, okay, I want 1 proton, 1 electron, and 1 neutron, look what comes out: hydrogen. Okay, so they're going to have to know the atomic weight, and then I can actually put that down into my inventory and use that to create something else. This is, to me, it just makes it so obvious, and it's like hands-on for our students, and it's part of Minecraft. And they don't realize that they're working and that they're learning because they're having fun doing this. This is what makes it so amazing. Now, yes, I could have pulled this hydrogen straight out of the inventory. Like I told you, you have access to everything because I'm in creative mode. But if I want my students to make it, they can use the element constructor to do that. What if I do 2, 2, and 2? I get, of course, helium. And again, we could create the entire periodic table by doing this if we wanted to. So this, to me, is such a valuable tool for our students. I was at a campus and one of the teachers saw us doing this, and she's like, oh my gosh, this is how I'm going to start teaching compounds and elements. This is so great. She really liked how we could use it. And of course, all the students, they had logged into their account and they got in there, and then she had them start to make the elements on their own, and they had a really fun time doing it. So the element constructor is really, really cool. Really like it a lot. And that's what they call a table. And there's different tables. There's one called the compound constructor, or compound creator, I think it is. They have so many different names. Again, it's like my keyboard is not working properly. I know it's not just me. Or of course it could be, you know.
I think it's the Misha. It's just making it real slow.
It's just everything is super slow, and so I want it to go faster. So then I'm trying to make it go a little bit faster. All right. Now again, here's my hot bar down at the bottom. You're going to see that number 5 is my compound creator, and that's the one I'm going to put out right here. Okay. And I'm just going to step over here to it and open it up. Okay, now the compound creator, that's where I have my formulas. Again, like H2O2, if I want to make hydrogen peroxide, right? I have to make it exact. So if I had H2O2 and I put an H here, I need another H, and then I need an oxygen and an oxygen. If I don't have it in the exact order that it's written out, it's not going to work. It's going to give me something or nothing that is what I want here. So the compound creator is very specific, and the rest of the tables are also very specific. So it's almost like you have to follow that, what I call the recipe, perfectly. Otherwise it will not work. And that's kind of important too, because that's chemistry. It has to be perfect. It has to be in this specific order, or it doesn't work right. So this actually, again, falls right into that. And what's so great about this, I mean, this may sound terrible, but I've actually caught my tables on fire because I've mixed elements that I shouldn't mix together. And just like in real life, if you mix them wrong, you know, you can get explosions and stuff. Yeah, I set my lab table on fire. It was really fun for me because, you know, I got to see it on the screen. And then I started thinking, wow, if this was in the classroom, that would have been really scary. But I'm here in Minecraft, so this is really fun, you know? So again, it's kind of a safe way to play with some of this stuff because, you know, some of those elements, like you can actually make different types of acids and I mean, it's all in the chemistry lab book that I would like to show you. hopefully it'll let me show it to you this time, so I can show you what's in here, because this is, to me, this is where the magic happens, is with this chemistry component. You might say, yeah, but I teach first grade, how could I use this? I would use this with first graders. I would show them about the electrons, the protons, and the neutrons. Why not? Why not let them try this and practice with this? So let me see if it's going to let me this time. Come on. Let me see. Oh, there we go. Maybe now it's going to let me stop presenting. I don't know if it's going to let me. I'm not even getting the option to not present. Isn't that interesting? And I don't want to take too much time on it, but I wanted to show it to you just so it's another reference guide, so you can see what it kind of looks like for students. Okay, let's see. Let me stop presenting. It's just super, super slow, everybody, and I apologize. All right, let me go back in here again and click present. Come on, present now. And a window. And this one. Here we go. All right, so now I can show you the chemistry journal. Okay. And again, this was created by people in Minecraft. And I know it's going to take a second for it to come up, as I imagine. Is it coming up now? Oh, looks like it might be coming up now.
Yes, it's coming up. It's coming
All
up.
right. All right. So here's the journal, the chemistry lab journal, right? And there's that website right there. Okay. So it shows you the different tables that you can use to use the different chemistry components. We talked about the element constructor. We talked about the compound creator. There's a lab table. This is the one I actually caught on fire, and a material reducer, which is kind of a cool thing as well. You put different types of material in there, and then it breaks it down into the elements. It's kind of cool how it works. It talks about the different tables and how to get it set up properly. And then it talks about the compounds. Now, these are craftable compounds, but you notice here that we've got the actual scientific code, if you will, for each one of these. So they're going to need to know how to make this, and that could be kind of tricky. Okay, here's the more of the compounds, right? And then it talks about the different chlorides, because some of these will require a chloride just like they do in real life. What they've done is they've actually taken stuff and turned it into other stuff. You need, and if you want to make like a balloon, you have to have latex to make a balloon. And there's a whole lot of stuff that you have to do. So like if we want to make the latex, we actually have to combine it using the lab table, and so you have to have your elements and your compounds ahead of time, and then you combine them all together. This actually will animate, and then it'll pop it out for you and put it into your inventory. So these are just, again, I can't stress enough how cool it is to be able to go in and create some of this stuff. And these items that you see right here, these items are not found in your inventory. You can look and look and look and look and look, but you won't. And they don't have the balloon listed in here, but that one's also not in your inventory. You actually have to create it. There's underwater, here, all of these as well are not in your inventory. You have glow sticks, you have underwater bombs and TNT and different things like that. And all of this stuff you cannot find in the inventory. You have to build it. And in order to build it, you have to know how to use the whole chemistry component behind it. Okay. So this is a very, very powerful tool, I believe. And I'm going to go back to my Minecraft now. Hopefully it'll let me. I'm going to pull this back up, and let's see. It comes up for a second, and then it decides it doesn't want me. Doesn't want to work anymore. Just we have so much going on. There we go. Now let me stop presenting. Stop. There we go. Because I usually have like a little window down below, but it's not giving me that option. I think it's just slow today. It's Monday. I'll just blame it on Monday. All right, we're going to go back to a window, and we're going to go back to Minecraft. All right. So if you've got kids working together in your world, and again, we've talked about about chemistry. We've talked about looking at our inventory. I'm just going to take this out of here just so we can go back to the main inventory piece. Hopefully you'll be able to see this shortly. I think it's just now. Did it come up or did it go away? Oh, I see it. I see it there. Okay. All right. So in your inventory, of course, you always hear about kids building and building and building different things. And there's a lot of different types of materials that they can take to build something with. And one of the things that I like to do is I like to create quizzes within the Minecraft, and I've made many different quizzes on the phases of the moon and different things, so where the kids have to make a choice, and when they make a certain choice, then it will take them to the next question, or if they make a bad choice, it takes them somewhere else, and then they have to find their way back and get their way back, and that's really fun to do. But how do I build any of that stuff? So again, you want to take stuff out of your inventory, okay? And when you get the stuff, this is also running super slow. There we go. There's my little slider. You've got all types of building blocks here that you can use to build if you want to build a building. You can also search, as I searched earlier, and I'm going to search for a sign. Yep, I'm trying to type too fast. That's what's going on here. There we go. And we have these little signs, and then you can put what you want on the signs. You can put questions. You can put go this way, go that way, whatever it is that you want on these signs. And then your students can follow along with that. Again, I would make a world and then invite my students to join my world. And then once we were comfortable with that, then have them create their own world that they can actually share with you.
And Misha, we had a question about Pocket Edition. It
yes.
does work, correct? As long as they're on the same network?
Pocket Edition will not work with Minecraft Education Edition. Education Edition is like its own entity. So it's not going to work with that. It doesn't work with any of the other Minecrafts. You cannot like if I'm on Pocket Edition, I can see other kids that are on Pocket Edition or on the regular Minecraft. But Education Edition, it's kind of, because it's education, it's like blocked off from all the other types of Minecraft. So it's its own thing. So we can all join each other from a different network. I can have people join my world from across the world. That's fine, as long as they are using Minecraft Education Edition.
Okay, thank you for the clarification.
The caveat for yeah, I know, because Pocket Edition was really, really popular. And they used to offer Minecraft Education Edition on the phone, but that went away about a year ago. But they do have it for, like I said, for the iPad. So you can use it. You can use Minecraft on the iPad, which is what I use with when I did with first graders. We didn't have devices for everybody in first grade. But what we did was we asked if we could use iPads, and so we were able to use iPads and log in with the iPads, and then the students were able to get in and use those, and that went live not that long ago throughout the nation, being able to use the iPads, and even in our district. So but I know the big question is, well, does this work on Chromebooks? And I'm going to say not right now, and that's all I can say. With excitement in my voice, but I'm hearing the whispers that it's coming. I just don't know how soon it is coming. But the second that I get the message that it has gone to Chromebooks, not only am I going to check it out on a Chromebook to make sure it works properly first before I send a message out to everybody else, but you will be receiving a mail admin. I will be adamant until they send it out. Because I want kids using this platform. This platform is very powerful. And if you've never gone in here and even looked at this, there's just so much to do in here. If you're big on teaching like electricity and circuits, there's a whole part on redstone that and I've done a whole bunch of Minecraft meetups that I did during the first few weeks that we were on quarantine, and they were half-hour lessons, and I would just show you how to use how to use redstone, or how to make a roller coaster using different things. But redstone is like the electricity, and you have to make a circuit, and you have to make the circuit properly. If you don't make it right, it won't work. So you have to know how to close the circuit. You have to know what parts to use, and Google became my very best friend when I was learning about Minecraft. But there are lots of tutorials that are out there, and like I said, I have several on my site that I've done. And then if you go to the teacher support page, the one with the yellow borders on it, if you go there, and under Minecraft, you're going to see all kinds of icons and how to do this and how to do that, because I've been adding a lot of those, because I figure kids are at home, maybe they might want to try this out. So I highly suggest it. And again, using creative mode to get started, so that way nobody can hurt anybody else is kind of imperative. But let's just say that you're not sure on your settings. So I'm going to push the escape button, and I'm actually going to go back to the settings here, because I want to show you some of the other settings that we have in the Minecraft here.
Now, Misha, on the right click, I know on my Logitech mouse it worked. Does it work on the mice most of the time?
When you right click, if on your Magic mouse it might, but if you're using the keyboard, no.
Okay, but I'm talking about if I use I use my wireless mouse just to mess around with it, and it worked. The Logitech.
Yeah.
Have you heard of other people having any issues with the mouse?
That has a right click that's already in it. But you know how you set up your trackpad to do a right click, or you use the command to do a right click? That's not going to work. It's not going to recognize it. It will off of a regular mouse, because that already has that right click built in. But remember, you do use the keyboard to move around. You use the mouse to kind of decide which way you're going to move. But in order to move, you have to actually use the keyboard.
Okay.
So
very good.
It's kind of, that's why I say do it that way. That way you don't have to really mess around.
So you don't have to do two hands.
Exactly. All right, let's take a look here. See, my default game mode is creative, but let's say I wanted to change that. Just click on the disclosure arrow, and now I have the option of survival or adventure. You did not hear me mention adventure earlier. Why is that? I'm going to tell you that I have never been in adventure, because I have heard from Eric, who is the Minecrafter guy that I've learned a lot from. Adventure makes survival look like creative. So you've got creative, which is really safe. Nothing's going to harm you. Yay, I can go touch all this stuff and nothing's going to hurt me. Then you have survival, which there's bad things. There's zombies and creepers and all kinds of stuff that if they touch you, they're going to do harm to you and you will die. And then there's adventure, which is like survival on steroids. And I have not even attempted to do an adventure, because I'm like afraid, I guess. I prefer the quiet life, so I stick with creative. But the choice is yours. You're feeling really out there, do it. Go for it. Okay. All right. So your difficulty is the next one down. And you'll see I have mine set on easy. But there's one even lower than easy, and that's peaceful. When you do peaceful, you're not going to see the dangerous creatures that can do harm to you. Because I'm in creative mode, and you saw those green slimes moving around. Those are dangerous creatures. I won't even see them in peaceful mode. I will only see the beautiful little chickens and all of the other animals that are in there that aren't going to do harm to me. But if I go to easy, I will see them. And if I go to normal or even hard, I will see them, and they might get in my way, but they can't harm me if I'm in creative mode. But if I'm in survival mode, when I see them, they can harm me. So that's something to think about as well. If you want them to see them, then you can you can change them to normal or hard. I normally am in peaceful, but because we've been in this world so much, we've changed the permissions to easy because Eric likes to see some of that stuff, so he wanted me to change it because him and I, we've been in this world a lot together. Okay, so that's why we have it at easy. But again, there's creative, survival, and adventure. I stay away from adventure, but that's your choice. I've been doing this a while, but you know. All right. Also over here, you'll see the keyboard and mouse. You'll see a controller. Now, if you have one of those like Xbox controllers and you're on a Windows machine, it works beautifully. If you have an Xbox controller and you go, well, I'm just going to plug it into my Mac, it's not going to work beautifully. Now, they're saying with the new operating system that's coming out in September that might change. It might be a little bit easier. I just say, you know, if I'm on a Mac, I'm just going to use the keyboard. Sometimes when you plug in those extra plug-in things, they can cause issues on your Macs, and I'm not sure why that happens, but it can happen. So you just have to be kind of careful with that. But if I'm on a Windows machine and I plug in a controller, no problem. It's going to work beautifully. Okay. So yeah, how are we doing on questions? I'm looking at the time. We're down to 10 minutes. Holy.
Yeah, we're doing good on the questions. I think we got everything covered. We've had quite a few people join after you went over the webpage. Can you go over the webpage again?
Sure. Let me go over the webpage again. Hopefully it'll let me go back and share here. This sharing thing today is just really super slow. You aren't having this trouble, Larry.
No, you know what?
I'm running Minecraft. I'm running the meet. I'm running I think I might even still be in the second meet. So
yeah, and I noticed a slowdown when you started the Minecraft because it right when you started it turned off the record again.
Yeah, it's pretty memory intensive. So that's something to think about, that if you are running this, and I am on a Mac, I've run it on a Windows machine, and it it is pretty memory intensive because it's using a lot of stuff to run. It's not a super big file, but it does use up a lot of your resources at one time here. And again, I am trying very hard to click on there so I can show it to you. But if you go to education.minecraft.net and you go to support, that's where you can download. You'll see download, and you can download it. There's also, if you go to classroom resources, you'll find lessons in there. You can even connect with other teachers in there. I didn't see that question. Thank you very much for putting that in the chat for me.
Absolutely.
It's a really great website to even just to learn a little bit about Minecraft. There's people post questions in there. How do I do this? How do I do that? It even has the question like, how do I become a Minecraft mentor? There are certain steps that you have to take to do that. You have to take certain of their Microsoft courses. They're free. It's all free to do. But I highly recommend doing it. So I'm a part of the Minecraft mentor group, so they send me emails on stuff. And sometimes people who get in the Minecraft mentor group were like me, who didn't know anything about Minecraft. I mean, I knew like the name Minecraft and like how to download it. That's all I knew. And talking to some of those people, I've really begun to understand, especially like with the coding components, and because I do like to code, but learning it, if you've never coded before, it's not hard. It's not hard to do at all. There's commands that you can put in to kind of get things going within the Minecraft. You know what? I'm just going to show that to you real quick since it doesn't want me to stop presenting.
You know what, Misha? It won't let you stop presenting either.
I don't even have the little button down at the bottom. I can't even click in it to stop presenting. Isn't that interesting? So yeah. So I'm just gonna go ahead. If I type the / button, and hopefully it'll come up, and hopefully you'll be able to see it. I get this prompt here, and this is my prompt where I can add like a command. Let's say that I'm tired of the blue sky and I want it to rain, and I know that the command for that is weather rain. And now you notice it is raining. I made it rain. And when I click the slash button and I click any letter, it's going to show me all the commands that have that letter in it. So this is and you need to have that slash before you write out your commands. So if you're not sure, I don't know what this command does, just try it out. See what it does. You can play sounds. You can say things to other players. You can spawn, and spawn is what's all spawn is that you are creating an animal. So we can spawn chickens. They're like my favorites. I love the chickens because you can feed them and then they love you and they're your friends. And I often look at when all the animals are there and you're feeding them and they all like something different to eat. So you have to look in your inventory and find out what they like to eat. But use that as an opportunity to, let's talk about why we want to treat animals well. I was at a campus and this little boy was hurting this chicken. Yes, it's a digital chicken. It's a digital world. It's not even real, but it was really bothering me because this chicken was like trying to get away from him and he kept trying to hurt it. And so I sent him a message saying, please don't do that. And this is when I had the classroom mode on, because in the classroom mode, if you have everybody in the same room with you, he's like, yeah, right. Like, I'm going to listen to you. So I paused his world. I paused him and he couldn't play anymore and he couldn't figure out why I would do that. And I'm like, I told you, you need to be nice. So again, another way to get, some teaching in there that's not necessarily about science or social studies or coding or any, we were just talking about, having good social skills and treating others with respect the way we want to be treated. And I went over and I talked to him. And then as soon as I did, I unpaused him and he was good to go. So, we can use these tools in a variety of ways, and there's about a million other ways I could use Minecraft. There's a component in here where you have a portfolio, and let me see if
be sure you have 5 minutes.
I know it's going so fast. It's going so fast. The same thing happened to you. I know. Oh, somebody joined my game with me. Matthew D joined my game with me.
All right.
Interesting. Interesting. That's really cool. Let me get out of the chat feature here. Okay. So, and he must have got my code when I was showing the code earlier, and he joined the game with me. I hope you come and find me. I hope you can teleport your way to me so I can see you. But we can use there's a in the inventory there's something called the portfolio, and the portfolio is a writing journal. Wait. Journal? What? Journal? Let's see. I know it's called a portfolio. Am I not spelling it correctly? It's not letting me put all the letters in. Isn't that interesting? I know where it's at. It's down here. But you have this portfolio, and you can take pictures. You can take selfies with the camera, and when the picture automatically goes in the portfolio, and then you can write about it. So as you're walking through, maybe, if I'm out here and I'm looking around and I see this slime over here, and I take a selfie with this slime, I can write about it. This guy wanted to hurt me, but he couldn't. There's a ton of different ways. It's you can have students write today in our Minecraft world. This is what we did, and so. A whole journal history right there, right? And then what the kids can do after they've completed the journal at the very end, not after that day, if you're wanting them to do it for several days in a row, they can export the journal. It exports as a PDF document, and then they can send it to you through Google Classroom, and then you would have the copy of their journal. How cool is that?
Now, Misha, could you explain a little bit more on playing and hosting?
Yes. So I'll escape here. Right now I'm hosting. And I'm hosting, which means you see here, Matthew D is in here with me. That means that I have my world open so people can join my world. If I just click the word play, which I'm really not playing, but if you click the word play, then nobody can join your world. No, there's no code. It doesn't give you a code. And that's it. It's just you. But if I'm hosting, then other people can join. And remember, we can have up to 30 people in a world. And right now we've got 2, so we can only have 28 more people in this world if we had other people that wanted to join, and all of their names would appear here. Okay. If I click stop hosting, what's going to happen to poor Matthew is he's gonna get kicked out of my world. I don't want to do that just yet. Let's say that I already have enough people in here. I wanted to have 7 people in my world, and let's say I have 7 and I don't want anybody else to join. All I have to do is refresh the code, and then nobody else will be able to join. And if I take the code away, I just, close this window up and they won't be able to see it, because that way nobody else would be able to join the world. So, and Matthew would still be in there because, he joined with this code. But again, that play and host. Host is I want other people to join me. Play, I'm just playing by myself. If I want to join somebody else's world, I have to know what the code is. If I don't have the code, I can't join. And this question's come up a lot, like, can you give me the code to your world? If I don't have my world open, because every time I open my world, the code changes. So if I close this down, of course, Matthew will go away. He won't be in this world anymore. But when I reopen it, this will not be the code. It will be a completely different code. So that's something to think about too. So if you're going to, I'm going to be doing Minecraft today. Let me open it up now. It's 7:30 in the morning. I want to have it open till 10 o'clock in the morning or whatever. That code will remain as long as you have this window open. But if I close this window, I shut down Minecraft, that code is no longer valid. It's gone.
All right, Misha, it is actually 11 o'clock right now.
That went super fast. If you do have questions, you want more information, please email me. I'm so sorry.
Oh, no, you did. It was great, Misha. Thank you so much. I'm going to go ahead and put in the bit.ly for your certificate now.
You got on the form there, right? Because I put them on the form. Okay.
Yeah,
all right. Good.
Got it.
Thank you.
And there's the link now.
And I've taken off the automatic sender because it's still having trouble when a lot of people submit at the same time. So I'm going to wait until a little bit later. You will get it. You'll get it within the next couple of hours, but I'm not going to have it send it out right away to you, only because it gets confused for some reason. So many people are hitting that submit button and it doesn't know what to do.
I added the link, but it wasn't hot. Now I added it so that way it's hot. You can just click and open.
All right. Yes, there it is. YISD mine.
Very good, Misha. Thank you so much. Can you not share your screen real quick? Is that possible? I'm just curious.
Let me see if it's going to let me now. Let me see. Is it going to let me not share my screen?
Okay.
Oh, finally. Finally, because I kept clicking and clicking and clicking and it would not do that. I just think we were just using so many resources.
No, I know it was. This was probably the most intensive meet.
Probably, yeah. We had a lot. Yeah, you know what? When we would do the meet and Eric would join the world, that's when we would cut out a little bit and stuff because it was using quite a bit of resources.
Now, Laura sort of had a question on how can you get the code to give to the students?
Okay, so let me show you where how you get that. So I'm in the world. I open the world up. I'm in the world. Oh, look at that. Hi, Matthew. How are you?
Yeah, go ahead and share your screen
and
again.
I hit. Oh, that's right. I'm not sharing again. Yeah. I tell you, I always forget. You get going again. Let me.
It was my fault. I told you to unshare it because if I wanted to see if it would work, and I messed you up.
Hopefully, I'll be able to share again here. If it's that little window at the bottom, the little pop-up screen, that one doesn't like to appear for me, and I'm not sure why. I've there maybe it comes up for like a second and then it goes back down. So I'm trying very hard to be patient, and I keep clicking and moving around, but it's not. So if I'm in the world, once you get into a world, you hit the escape button, and when you hit the escape button, that's when you'll be able to. But you have to. You can actually start hosting from there as well. And let me show that to you. Hopefully, if I can, it'll let me. I apologize. Technology, love it. Okay, let me try that. Come on, present. You let me present now, please? Maybe? Okay. Oh, there, window. Okay, and this window. Let's share this window. Okay, I don't know if you can see it yet. If it's probably taking a little bit of time loading up here. You see it yet?
Not yet. Not yet. Oh, it's coming.
Okay. Okay. All right. Here we go. So I'm going to go ahead and resume the game here. Okay, so I'm in the world. I'm walking around, and I want to start hosting. So I click the escape button. And right now it says that I'm hosting, but this button will say start hosting. And when you click that, then a code will appear right here. And this is your join code. You can take a screenshot of that. What I normally do is I just normally tell people, because each one of these it's just a word: Rail, Potion, Steve, Alex. And then they look for those little codes on their end, put in the code, and then they'll be able to join my world. It's because on the student side, or on anybody's side, that when they click join world, they have like a whole bunch of little pictures, and each picture has a word in it. And they're all different words, so they have to kind of look through them and look and match up the pictures. Again, this is great for little guys; they can just match up the picture. Big guys, I mean, they can figure it out pretty quickly. So, and once they click in that, then they're in the world. As you'll see, there's Matthew right there. He joined the world earlier, and I have since I'm the one hosting, if I stop hosting again, Matthew will leave the world, and I can still be in here by myself. But that hosting component is really key. Students have that component too, but again, they can't really host. They can't allow other students to join their world. Now, what I have not tried is a student hosting and a teacher joins a student world. I'm not sure that would be possible either, but that is something I will try out with my own students, my own children. I'll try that out. Any other questions? It's already 5 after 11. We don't want to keep anybody from lunch today.
No, absolutely not. But I had a question on if somebody was going to do more in the program, where can they get help?
Where can they get help? That's that site that I gave you, that education.minecraft.net, has a lot of stuff. That they have a couple of the engineers that actually are working on Minecraft all the time that answer questions a lot. And they respond pretty quickly to stuff. It's called the Zen Desk. Zen, I guess, because they're just so awesome. But everything is on that site, that education.minecraft.net. That is the place to go to get information, to learn. And of course, if you want tutorials and things like that, I have a whole bunch on my YouTube channel for Minecraft. I actually need to make a playlist of all the Minecraft stuff. I haven't done that yet. So please, feel free to reach out to me, especially if you'd like to become a Minecraft mentor. We need more in the city. As far as I know, I think there's only 3 of us in the city right now. We have 2 in our district, myself and an ITS teacher at Tierra del Sol. I believe she just became a Minecraft mentor, but we like to have more. We need Isleta to shine. So help us out. And I can show you how to do that and help you get started with that. Great tool for kids, though. Love it.
Awesome. Well, very good, guys. Just as a heads up, I'm going to go ahead and stop recording now. Want to say thank you so much, Misha. Great job.
Sorry that our sharing feature was a little slow, because I don't like to keep people waiting.